Now I'm streaming. Huh?
Do the people start coming?
When they come when they come. Live. Right here.
Anybody's in there.
It tells you right here. Right now we got 0. Welcome everybody. Got 1. Hello. Ooh.
Welcome everybody to Space Cadet Crypto.
Hello everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Right now we're seeing Bitcoin make a nice move. Some weekend price action.
Woo, Bitcoin.
All right, so Bitcoin has hit all of my price targets so far. First price target was here at 33,800. Next one was at 34,340, and it hit all of those. Right now it's just testing. It's testing resistance right here, and if it does make it above this area of resistance here at 34,700, if it starts closing above that, then we actually could have a double bottom here ready, and it actually lines up perfectly with that Wyckoff distribution, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But see, look here on the daily. We zoom out. Let's remove this real quick. 6 hourly. So we have this double bottom pattern. Low, higher low, double bottom. Our neckline's right here, right at 34,700. So we did find that as resistance, but now we are making our way back up towards there. But this pattern, if we do break out of it, we are seeing that Bitcoin could hit $39,000 as the price target for this double bottom. So that's pretty awesome to see. We've been trading in this lower range here for the last week, so we will have to see what happens next. You know, we're looking right now, as I said before, it's weekend price action, so we aren't having that much volume right here. If we look on the volume indicator, right, we're decreasing in volume still, so we still haven't made a huge breakout just yet, but we just made a nice move to the upside. Yep. So remember, if you're new here, remember to like and subscribe. I'm gonna be covering BTC and every other altcoin there is. I'm gonna be taking recommendations too, so if you want, put in the comments down below which altcoin you want me to look at. Right now we are seeing some slight red today for the altcoins, which means that everybody's probably moving their money to BTC. So that's why I always, when we have these downtrends, BTC is going to be the stronger asset, and also you're going to see some money come out of the altcoins and go into Bitcoin. So you're going to see Bitcoin dominance actually rise, and that's what we're kind of seeing here, because we're seeing a lot of these altcoins are just having, you know, they're down a couple percent. So it's pretty crazy that we're seeing a bunch of this happen right now. So the altcoins were stronger yesterday, but wow. Okay, ICP is up $43. Remember it was like at $30 the other day. And it made a nice move to the upside. Yeah, it was at $30, 43 today. Awesome. Maker looks a lot like BTC. Yeah, so a lot of these are looking like BTC. Let's look at Maker. Let's take a look at that. But wow, ICP made a nice 25% move today, so that's pretty cool. So Maker. Yeah, so it was at 1,951. Now it's at 2,000. Okay, yep. All right, so for Maker, we're having some nice support right here. We're having resistance right here. So we're just trading this range. I could see it coming back up here and retesting either 2196 or up here to the higher level, which would be at 2432. So yeah, oh yeah, so this is very significant support and resistance if we look back here, right? So we coming down to these areas for a while now. So 1892 was a good area of support, so it came back down here to retest that area, and now it's just come back up. We do see a lot of resistance coming up ahead though. If we take a look at our moving averages, we're just touching our moving average here at 21 day. We zoom in, right? So boom, touch, rejection all the way down here. We made an M pattern, a high and then a lower high, and then we came back down here, made a low, bounced off of this area, and now we're just trading above this. If we break out of this 2139 resistance, we could make it back up here to 2400, right? And then if we look here at our fib level, so a fib retracement down here, that would make this area some resistance here, 22,256. So how much profit would that be? That would be a 5% profit. And if you're using leverage, you know, 5x, that would be 25% move. That's not bad. But yeah, so these would be also another price target to be 26.38, 27.21, and 28.41. But we are running into resistance here at the 21-day moving average, and this is the 6-hour time chart. If we look at the 4-hourly, we are breaking through it, so we could see a potential move actually if we make a candle go above this 4-hour 21-day moving average. If we close another candle above this, this one closes in 2 hours, so if we make another 4-hourly candle above this, then this actually could make us go towards this golden pocket at 22.56. Remember, everybody, to like and subscribe, like the video. It really helps out a lot, and I'm going to be taking recommendations here on some altcoins for me to look at, so make sure you put them in the comments down below which altcoin you want me to look at. But right now, we're looking at Maker. Bitcoin is still kind of just trading a little bit sideways after that nice pump today, but we are a couple $1,000 up for Bitcoin. As you see, we are just trading in this upper area here, so we could actually also get a rejection back down here and test this area today. And so don't be surprised if that actually does happen. And then we could come back up here. So, or we can come back down here to this area around 33,200, which was previous resistance here. We're definitely going to come back to that area. Just like how we saw right here, where we moved up, made a massive move, got a pretty swift rejection here. So that's kind of the only difference between this last move that happened last week, right? Yeah, 5 days ago, moving back up here. We are moving back up here, but we're having a nice big candle here. So we'll have to see in 2 hours if it does close above or below. That will tell us if we're going to come back and retest now or retest later. So in my opinion, I think we are going to retest in a little bit, but today for sure. If not, tomorrow before market opens, we're probably going to see a nice dip to see the market makers come in and place their orders, because they'll always probably bring the price back down before they make their longs, and then ride it back up here to another area of critical resistance, probably right around here at 35,800. But yeah, that's what it's looking like right now for Bitcoin at the moment. Okay, so this is Tradingview. Tradingview is a free website, a free browser. So Tradingview, right, just to show you right here, Tradingview, it has the cryptocurrency markets, it has charts, you can look at all the charts for the stock market, anything like that, and also for what's it called, you know, currencies in general. So not just crypto, it has everything, you know, it has the Dixie. But yeah, so Tradingview right here, you can create your own account. You know, it's free. They do offer a free version. There's a pro version which you pay for, and it's around like $15 a month. I think it's worth it, but at the same time, if you are starting out new, they do give you 3 indicators for free, and I think 3 indicators is just enough to start learning and get, you know, starting to get good, accurate predictions going for, you know, for your account. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, so I pay for the pro version. It's I think like $150 a year. So I pay for the yearly thing just because I don't like paying monthly. But yeah, so I think it's a great site. A lot of people do use Tradingview, and it's really customizable. Like if you go back down here, you know, you can make anything, you know, different colors. Like I have the blue and the red candles. You know, if you click on, you know, you can even make any any line, different colors. The background too, you can do gradients. So like settings, you know, right here, you can make a light blue gradient, make it look like this, green. So it's really customizable. It's up to your liking. I just like, you know, a little bit darker of a color, like this one. But yeah, so you can make your own. I love Tradingview. You know, it took me a minute to get used to it, especially if you're brand new. But after like a month or two of just messing around, you know, figuring out what each thing does, yeah, I've grown to really love it. You know, there's a lot of different what's it called? You know, platforms to look at TA. I just think this one's probably the most accessible one. You know, especially because you can use a free one too. But a lot of exchanges do have their own built-in. Like Webull has one. Thinkorswim, which is I think what's it, TD Ameritrade's own exchange type, you know, trading platform thing. Yes, it is. It really is, you know, because that's like the main issue for traders, right? It's like, when do I know the dip is gonna, you know, be an actual dip and not just a continuation to the downside, right? So yeah, reading charts is honestly the best thing that you can do, and to protect your capital really is, because the whales don't care. You know, the whales are trying to make money. They are trying to take as much money as they can from the retail trader, and this is just a tool that you can use that definitely gives you an upper hand. But they still for sure can mess with you. You know, no matter how great your TA is. There's always just an offset chance that the market can go in opposite direction, and you know, no one can account for that. You know, only the very rich know what's going to happen, right? Especially because they do use algorithms, they use trading bots. You know, they have every single tool to their advantage, right? And so we just have TA, but from TA, you know, you still can protect yourself if that trade does go south, and that's why you always want to do a nice P&L trading setup. You know. So if you haven't already used this, right here, if you can look on the side, let me just move a little bit more so you can see what I'm looking at. But here on this chart, you can see all the things that I use. This is for drawing. You can write text. These are for patterns, right? If you see an ABCD pattern, that means like consolidation phase pattern with waves, if you know about Elliott theory. But I like using this long position, right? It shows your P&L. Right, so if you were to set up at a certain position, it shows you how much of a loss you would get if you hit your stop loss, and then what your target price would be. And it's always good to shoot for either a 2-to-1 win ratio or a 3-to-1, meaning that your stop loss, like in this case, would be if it's down here, you know, you'd lose 2%, and you'd want your, you know, your target to be 3 times greater than that. So maybe a 6% price target, right? And if you're using leverage, obviously everything's gonna be multiplied more. What do I use to trade on? So if I'm doing leverage trading for just cryptos, I use Bybit. What's the other one? There's another one. But yeah, I mostly just use Bybit just because I rather trade just Bitcoin, and they do add more cryptos on there, more altcoins. It's just that it's very risky trading altcoins with leverage, just because crazy liquidity events can happen where the prices drops like 90% out of nowhere. So that's just used, you know, to liquidate everyone. So like altcoins, I don't really trade too much. If I do trade altcoins, I don't use that much leverage, you know. So I do use crypto.com. I use KuCoin. I don't use Coinbase because the fees are just enormous. And I feel like Coinbase is just something that people use once they're very new to trading. That's like the first thing that pops up, Coinbase, because it's the most popular one. But I do think that they are a big, you know, exchange, but they're not the best. They definitely have really high fees. And I did use Coinbase when I first started out, but as soon as I saw the fees, I was like, yeah, no, I'm using something else. So I moved to KuCoin. They have a lot of altcoins, you know, crypto.com. I also use, what's the other one? Sorry, I'm kind of blanking out right now, but yeah, those two. Binance is really good too. The Binance US version is not that good, so I use a VPN, you know. That's why I use Bybit too. Coinbase is 1.5 on all trades, and I found their price is always $10 lower than the actual market price when I go sell. Yeah, that's what usually happens. You know, not every exchange is gonna have the same pricing. Some are gonna be like, I've noticed that crypto.com's prices are always not their fees, but the actual, like, when they post, you know, how expensive a certain altcoin is, it's always a little bit higher. It's always like maybe 1 or 2% higher than it actually is on other exchanges. I also use what's the other one? I use Voyager, but Voyager I found problems with as well. Their fees are really low, but to take my money out, it took like 2-3 weeks. Like, it was crazy. I don't know why it took so long. But Binance usually has the cheapest fees, and especially if you're holding Binance coin, it's pretty cheap. But right now, Crypto.com's their fee is, I don't know. Let me check actually. Let's see how expensive their fees are. They only charge me a fee because I use my debit card to buy. So they charge a 3% fee there. So it's pretty expensive. But if you link your bank account, the fees go down. I remember when I first signed up for Crypto.com, I was buying everything on there because they did offer a 30-day zero fee. So if once you sign up for 30 days, they give you 0% fee if you want to buy with your card. So that's what I was using. I was using it for that much. But now I just usually get it on KuCoin because they have pretty low fees. I know. I don't get why it took that long. Like, it was insane. And now it's because they had major server issues, and you can see in the price too of their own, because they have their own Voyager token. I think it lowers fees if you hold a bunch of the tokens, and yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It took me 2 weeks to sign up because I was on the wait list, and then it also took me 2 to 3 weeks for me to even get my money out to withdraw it. It was insane. Luckily, I did sell though before we had the market crash, so I was fine waiting a couple weeks, you know, for that money. That's why I always have just multiple accounts. That's why I tell people that are new investors, always have multiple accounts that you can trade on, you know, just in case stuff like that happens. And yeah, Voyager messed up pretty bad, so, you know, it's on them. But yeah, I mostly just trade with leverage on Bybit, and then if I do just, like, you know, buy, it's either on Crypto.com and Binance. Yeah, not Binance US. I use the regular Binance. So if you guys are new right now, remember to just post down in the comments below if you want me to check on any coins, any altcoins. But right now we're just looking at BTC. I'll look at the lower time frame so you guys can see what's going on. But it looks like we're having a clear rejection from actually what I drew this line. I drew this line yesterday, or maybe 2-3 days ago. But yeah, it looked like we're getting a nice rejection retest. So what I usually like to do, if I see if this could be a continuation, I usually just draw my fib level from the swing low all the way here to the swing high. And it's looking like it's about to actually bounce off this fib retracement level of the 0.236. So if I just zoom in a little bit more, just to show you what I'm talking about here, is fib retracement, right? Swing low to swing high. And it just gave me these levels, these areas. So if we're starting here from 0, here at the top, this is 0.236, you know, percent of the move. This is 0.382. So it's like 38% of the move, of this total move from here to here. It's just cutting it up into pieces. And right here, this is exactly half of the move. So once it starts trading below here and it goes past 50% of the move, the initial move up, that's how you know it's going to probably be a reversal, you know, a reversal in the price. It's not going to continue on further. It's not going to be continuation. Usually when it is a continuation pattern, you want to see it either hold on this level, the 0.236, which is what it's doing right now. It's kind of holding in this level, and over here, the 0.382. But once it doesn't bounce off the 0.5, it starts trading here lower, you see weakness, it has one more chance of bouncing off here at the golden pocket, or it's just going to continue going down. You know, we're going to find another retest, which I think is going to happen. I think we're going to actually bounce off of the golden pocket, because right here was significant resistance, right? Boom, weakness, and we're just trading below it. And then we have this nice move to the upside, and it looks like we have to come back down here and retest it. But if we do bounce off of this area, that could also lead us to another huge move up. So we're just watching that right now. We are very, very overbought. You can see here the RSI, but this is just a 15-minute chart. It's not as significant as a longer time frame. So the 1 hourly, right? The 1 hourly, it's still looking good. It's actually overbought too. So we might see a small retracement, right, to those lower Fibonacci levels. I'm guessing this one right here. I'm aiming for this one, right? If we see a bounce off of here, then that means we are going to continue on further, right, to these higher areas of resistance. But if it does not bounce off, then we're looking at the 0.5 and then the 0.65, which is actually right above this area of support that was resistance before. Look at this resistance. All of this was resistance, right? Movement, boom. We almost made an M pattern, which is pretty crazy. That would have led us to even more downside. See how we had a move up here? We made this M. This was a neckline, but we actually just bounced off the neckline and just made this massive move to the upside. So we did have a nice short squeeze right here, but we also, yeah, like we had a nice amount of volume right here. This green candle is nice buying volume right here. So as soon as we hit this area, it just made that massive move to the upside. So that's what it's looking like. Let's see. Yeah, we're still just kind of hovering right below this critical area of support or resistance, right? We found resistance here. Slight support here, but yeah, it all just depends. It is weekend price action. So if we look on the 4 hourly chart, we still, if you look here on the volume, we're still making lower and lower amounts of volume. We need to see that green volume come in, start making higher amounts of green volume, right? Green buying volume. So yeah, just let me know in the comments down below which altcoin you want me to look at next. But right now it's just Bitcoin. We're looking at Bitcoin right now. This W pattern is looking pretty crazy though. If this W pattern does play out, we are looking at a $40,000 Bitcoin soon. Right here, or 39,000 right below this area of resistance. Because we're not looking at too much resistance just yet. Just this huge critical one, that 34,700, but we're holding right below it. You know, we haven't gone in too much of rejection just yet. But yeah, but we still have 2 hours left till this 4 hourly close. Then we'll know. But we are still right below it. And if we do cross above that, we have resistance at 36,000, 36,500, and right here at 38,500. Yeah, let's look at Polygon. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, but as you can see, this blue support, I think, could be the exact bottom, you know, of Bitcoin. I think 30K was a good bottom. And if it wasn't a bottom, then we would see a nice move to the downside. So that's why I was mostly speculating that this would have been a good bottom, because it lines up perfectly where we were accumulating last time we were in this range, right around here too. We just saw so much accumulation here, a lot of good support being built right here in areas where people were selling and buying. That's why I thought this exactly would be great area of support. And now we're just testing it. This is our last week. If not, we could see further downside. But like I said before, a lot of volatility during the weekend. And I called it exactly because we moved up like $3,000 today. So the stream keeps lagging. Sorry about that. It says here my connection's not that bad. So hopefully it you know, it gets better. Yeah, Litecoin. Let's look at Litecoin too. I'll take a look at Polygon first. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about Litecoin. I'm pretty bummed. It just made such a big M pattern and just dropped so hard. Dropped like a rock, but you know, it looks like we're all the altcoins are going back to previous support back in January. All the major big cap altcoins that were in like the top 15, top 10. So they're all just coming back down to their support right here, right around 112, 120. But yep, huge downtrend. Huge downtrend. Let's look at Polygon real quick first before I get into Litecoin. Isn't it Matic, right? Let's look at Anchor and Amp. Yep, I'll put that on the list too. You know, I still think anything above $1, like at $1 for Polygon would be a nice entry point in my opinion. You know, not financial advice, but just because the beginning of this run, when it first started, right here, this was a good symmetrical triangle breakout. And then we had a retest of it. And then we just started making higher highs. And this was all around that dollar range. We had huge areas of resistance right here. Like this area right here was resistance before we continued to go up higher. And especially right here too. We were running up initially to that dollar area. And then we just got nice consolidation for a couple, you know, for a week or two before we broke out. And then we surmounted it again as resistance here. And then as support. And then we just kept going, jumping. And even right here, when we had that huge drop, like if you look here, we had this big wick to the downside. It hit exactly at that dollar range, at $1.03. So I'm thinking $1 is a pretty good entry point, and here too as well, like around 92 cents. And this is actually it's looking kind of like just a falling wedge right here. So let's just put some areas of support right there. You know, this could all be just considered one big old box of support right here. Just this whole blue area. Just because we see, when I draw my blue boxes, it's always areas where I see the price make a huge move to that area. Like the price just pulls to that area. So if I were to draw another box, it would probably be probably in this area, like right around here. Let's be another. Obviously, there's way more support in between these two areas, like right here. But for the most part, you see how the price just, boom, just comes down to this area, comes back, retests. So usually for my blue boxes, it's always the price goes up and down in a very fast manner. Just like right here, as soon as it broke down to here, came back up again. But you also can look on higher time frames. You can see it more, right? Oh, we're about to have a little bit of a bear cross here for Matic, for Polygon. Let's look at, wait, I think, let's see. Yeah, let's look at Litecoin real quick. But $1 is looking pretty good. $1 is looking pretty good. You know? Let's look at the 6 hourly. Yeah, we're still using that 21-day yellow moving average as resistance, but once we break above it, I can see it going to right around here at $1.19. So nice move to the upside, and that's also kind of going right here towards our yellow right here support, resistance, and we're looking like a W pattern could be forming as well. So if we were to make that W pattern, let's see what the price target would be. So it'll be right here at this area of resistance and support at $1.46. So we can add that too. Right here. I'm seeing a lot of the price come to this area, come to this area, support, resistance, a little bit of support, breaking down. Yeah, so see around here to 140, around that area. We also can look at our fib retracement. So from this swing high to this swing low. See how when I drew this, how the fib retracement levels hit perfectly on the lines I already drew just by eyeballing it. So that's how you kind of can like confirm, because look, that's crazy how it just works out like that. You see how I drew this thicker line, and then the Fibonacci retracement level is right there at that level too. So pretty awesome to see that. You know, that just goes along with just practicing looking at areas where you think are very critical areas of support and resistance. That's why I always say, always focus on the horizontal ones first, because those are the ones that the price is going to be obeying a lot more. You know, they're more important than the diagonal ones, the ones that either are ascending or descending. But yeah, let's look at Litecoin. But like I'm saying, for my prediction, if we come back up here to 122 for Matic and find that as support, then we will find it going to 150 pretty soon too. You know? All right, so Litecoin, where's Litecoin? right here. Litecoin, kind of the same thing. I'm gonna go on the daily first, draw some lines. So what I can do is help me out right here. All right, so these could be areas of support and resistance. So I do see that happening too. There. Right there. So I see this M pattern that happened right here. Right, once it broke down from that, we are going to see another retest. So I do expect Litecoin, if Bitcoin keeps pumping, to go to 150 again. We did see that like slight W pattern that's happening. This is the daily chart anyway, but let's see if we already hit the price target for that M pattern. So yeah, it looks like we hit it. So it looks like now we're going to be coming back to this area, but we also need to be on the lookout for this this diagonal resistance right here. So this should also be taken into account. So if we do come up here, this is going to be very strong resistance. And also our moving averages too. See how this yellow moving average is also kind of winding down here and keeping the price below this diagonal resistance as well. And we are about to see another bear cross here for Litecoin. So it's looking a little bit more bearish, but we still are oversold on the RSI. And the last time we were oversold on the RSI too, for the daily chart, we did make a nice move up here. So we went down here to 117 and got a little relief rally up here to $200. So, you know, that's also in the cards too. So we are looking like we are still pretty oversold. So it's looking like it's already placing its low in. So, you know, we have to wait on Bitcoin, but I think Bitcoin already put its low in as well. And I'm thinking July is going to be very, very bullish month for Bitcoin. But, you know, my thoughts on Litecoin, though, are that, you know, I don't think it's a very strong altcoin. But the fact that we are still in the middle of the bull run and people are going to be starting to hear about Litecoin, all these other altcoins as well. And they're going to hear that the kind of narrative that always plays out every bull run for Litecoin is that if Bitcoin is digital gold, Litecoin is digital silver. And once that narrative starts to pick up again, I see Litecoin coming back to its all-time highs, you know, even breaking that. Maybe, let's see up here. See, the price targets would be $500, $540, $600, and maybe even like to the two areas, $700 for Litecoin. So I still see a lot of room for Litecoin, and it still is a very limited asset too. So that's also what's going for Litecoin as well. So I do own Litecoin as well. So, you know, full disclosure. So I do believe in it. Is it as useful as Bitcoin? No, I think Bitcoin is way better asset here. But the fact that it is that narrative of digital silver, a lot of people are going to get on board with that and they're going to be buying Litecoin. So that's why I think Litecoin has that advantage, because it is similar to Bitcoin, in which it does have a deflationary, or like has a finite amount right in circulation, and it has that narrative of being digital silver. So people that are saying that they can't afford Bitcoin, right, just because of the exorbitant amount of value it has right now, right, in the 30,000s. I do see Litecoin also growing, because I see people going in and buying Litecoin because it is very cheap and it has that narrative of digital silver. All right, let's see. Let's look at Anchor. Okay, Anchor. It's looking like it's making a falling wedge. We do have a very strong. Do you see how the moving averages are just pushing the price down here? The yellow and the orange. So the yellow is a 21-day, orange is a 50-day moving average. We do see that it's pushing the price down. And if I just get rid of that, you know, less noise right here, I can still draw that as well. Just draw this diagonal resistance that it's staying under. So I do see it as either a falling channel, which a lot of these altcoins are doing. They're just bouncing off support and resistance here. So you can do it like this, or a falling wedge in this case as well, down in this area. either like that, or you can make a case for if you want to go like from this, you know, that too. So if we do get rejected from this point, we can come back down here and then come back to this lower level as well. But the reason why we got a bounce off of this level is because, remember, like I said, horizontal resistance is very, very key. So we did have, once we had a nice move here, we had a stoppage for a couple hours, a couple days here, right around this area. So we had that. This is very strong. This was very strong resistance back then. Like I said, all these altcoins are having bounces at either very strong support from previous months or very strong resistance now that they have broken that support. So this is an area that I want to look out for right here. And we did have a rejection from there, but we are putting that low and this higher low. So we just have to wait and see if the price comes back up here. If it doesn't get rejected at the 0.075 level, then we are coming back up here to retest this level at the 0.082. And that has to hold, because if it doesn't hold, we're going to be coming back down here and retesting this lower trend line at around 4 cents. But like I said, I feel like the market is finally recovering, and we can see that too. Let's go to our crypto fear and greed index. So yesterday was at 22, now it's at 25. So the sentiment is changing. A lot of people are coming back in, and they are seeing that it's finally recovering. You know, we see that we're still in extreme fear, right? Once we start getting back up here to the 30s and 40s, that's when we're going to start seeing more of a shift. But if you look, last month we were at like 10, right? The lowest. If we can check here too, 3 months ago. Let's look at 3 months. Yeah, so look, May 24th, I remember this day, May 24th, May 30th. Let's see here, June 22nd. Wow, June 22nd. When was that? That was literally last Tuesday. Okay, so last Tuesday we were back at 10, you know? That's when we had that massive dip to the downside. And everyone's like, okay, it's going to go to 28,000, then 25,000, then 20,000. And what happened? Literally nothing, right? We had that nice balanced recovery, and now we're just kind of just trading sideways yet again. But you can see how people's reaction are and their sentiment are to the market, and how it just follows the price. You know, once we make a big dip, everyone's super bearish. Once we're pumping up here, this is when we're broke 40,000. We're at 42,000. Then we got rejected, right? It was a fake out. We're at 38, you know, and now we're at 25. So we're just slowly inching our way back up here. But time and time again, like these last 3 months, we've been very, very, very bearish, very bearish. And let's look at the last time we did that. So this was 3 months ago. Let's look at the yearly chart. All right, so we haven't been at these levels of fear that the market was going to crash and people were thinking that's going to be a bear market. We haven't been in these levels in forever, honestly, in forever. That's wild. Let's look at the max. So the last time we were at these levels was more than a year ago. So March of 2020. When was that? When was March of 2020? That was when the coronavirus outbreak broke out, and Bitcoin's price went, I think, from like 9,000 to 10,000 all the way down to 3,000, right? People are that scared right now. That's how scared they are. They're scared like the Corona dump. And I think the Corona dump was a pretty intense move. Not as intense as the move we had right now, percentage wise, but it was a bigger percent drop. You know, it was a crazier drop. Let's look at that real quick. But yeah, people are very scared. People are very scared right now, and just the fact that it just bounced $3,000, right? And look, we're seeing also the shorts coming down too. People are less bearish now on Bitcoin. That's what I'm saying. I said that this weekend is gonna be very volatile, and I said don't be surprised if it pumps up. But I was giving a head of warning because I was saying if it does pump up, which I most likely thought it was, and it did, to not just like go all in and just, you know, place your orders, your long orders, unless you got in at a very good spot, you know, before the breakout. I just said be careful because it's always low volume when you're trading over the weekend, and we are seeing our shorts come back down here, but we could see a nice little pump of the shorts. A lot more people are shorting towards the end of tonight, which I think is going to happen because every single time, every weekend, you know, for the last 4 months, at the end of every weekend, you know, on Sunday, Monday, we're going to see whatever the gains we had during the weekend come right back down. And I think the most drastic form of that was when we did break that all-time high of 64,000 right up here, right when we had this move, this nice huge move right here. And everyone thought that, you know, we're gonna go up to 100K already, 80K, 70K right here from the 13th to the 14th. What happened? We had a huge drop, and then we went all the way down to 50K, right? So that's what weekend price action does. It tries to trick everybody. It tries to get as much liquidity out of Bitcoin as fast as it can. And, you know, everybody that was placing their huge, you know, 30x leveraged moves right up here in this level, they got wrecked. You know, they got completely liquidated. And that's what it actually does. You know, it's not that the price of Bitcoin was weak. It was that once it got to a certain point down to this level, all the liquidations, all the sell orders, all the stop losses kicked in, and everybody got out. You know, all their things got liquidated. And it went down here. I mean, another continuation pattern down here. And then, what is it? Let's see, from 14th, 2 weeks later, we started recovering. And then boom, that was just another big continuation pattern, right? This big ascending wedge, rising wedge into this consolidation, which we have now. So it just doesn't make sense to me for it to go down any further, just because we've been having so many waves, you know, to the upside or to the downside, right? First wave, second wave, third wave, consolidation, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But that's why I thought this was the bottom, and it's starting to look like it is. You know, we are having this relief rally, but we do have to hold at 30K. We do have to hold it. What else should we check? Let's look at Cardano. Yeah, let's take a look at ADA. ADA is finding resistance here at the golden pocket. Oops. And I got that golden pocket from this move, this swing high to swing low back here in April 14th to April 22nd. There was a big volatile move to the downside. And that's where that golden pocket is. Where we're finding a lot of resistance. We found resistance here. We found it as huge support here, 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 and here. And now we're starting to find it as resistance yet again. So if we make it above, let's say the top of this would be 133. And find it as resistance, then we have no problem going back up here to 139, which is also really important. This could be a blue box here. This could be a blue box right here. Yeah, so this is very strong support back here. So bounce, support, 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 bounce. Started trading in it. Very risky right here. When you start trading within a blue box, within my blue box, that's how you know it's struggling, you know, and it's very in critical resistance. Boom, rejected right here. Found the rejection point. That's when we found this huge movement to the downside. Huge movement. And that's because this M pattern played out. Remember, guys, if you want to place your request here for me to look at, place it in the comment section down below. Also, if you just have any questions on TA, you know, in general, you can place them in the comments down below. And also like and subscribe to the video. It really helps me out a lot. BTT. You want me to check Bittorrent? Bittorrent. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, it went as low as it really could. It really did, because like you see how just these areas right here where we found resistance, boom, 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 these three things. It looked actually like it formed a nice cup and handle right here. Nice big old bull, little handle. And then from there, it just moved all the way up here. This is also a key area of support and resistance. So this is going to be key resistance. And I see that this W pattern actually could play out and hit that price target of around 0.0034. What else? This area of resistance support right there. Yep. So yeah, you can literally just zoom out. That's what I always do. Just zoom out right here. Zooming out, made this nasty double M double top pattern. This huge reversal pattern right here. And now it's looking like it's still trying to fight its way up. So I'll just take a fib level of it. Swing high, swing low. Right now we're finding resistance here at the 0.236. Right here, look, it's starting to inch its way up. But this is resistance at this point at the 0.236 of the fib level. And the next big area of support would be, or resistance would be, at that 0.0027 area. When will he make a special guest appearance? When he's here, when he's over here, when I'm live streaming, I'm definitely down to show you guys my cat. It's really funny. All right. Any other requests? I'll check AMP right now. Checking AMP. I think I had AMP. Where is it? Let's have to look it up. Let's look at the Coinbase. I feel like Coinbase is not going to have a lot of info on it because they're just, yep. So June 10th. So they just added AMP June 10th. Okay, that's funny. Remember, guys, if you're watching, please hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. I think there's 25 people, 26 people here. Thank you. Hitting the likes. Appreciate it. Let's look at the Polynex one. Let's look at Polynex. Wow, what the hell? Okay. Yeah, so this is gonna be that's crazy. Okay. Yikes. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, so right now AMP is in a pretty tight spot. So right now it's bouncing off of its moving average, its 50-day moving average. This is the daily chart. So it's bouncing off that. Let's look at a 4-hourly chart. But right now it's literally right above this golden pocket. It has to hold this golden pocket because if it comes below the golden pocket, it's going to be very strong resistance to get out of. It did bounce off right here, and once it bounced off, it launched. Right, when was this? 13th of June. So it went up massively after it bounced off. Then we had this M pattern right here, this big old M. Double top. This was the neckline. Also was previous resistance. Found it as support, but broke through. Let's see if we hit that price target. I think we did. We take the big old M part from here to here. Yeah, so we more or less hit it down here into this area. And now it's just kind of trading upwards. We are putting in the higher low, so that's pretty good. But that resistance right here at 0.06, 0.067, that's going to be our neckline for our W, right? If this W pattern plays out. But we are getting slight rejections here from our 200-day moving average. We're starting to find this as support, the 21-day, and then up ahead too, we also have the 0.065 cents as resistance as well. But yeah, I mean, we're still holding on. You know, I'm only would get bearish if we do get below this golden pocket and we put in a lower low too. If we start putting a lower low and we get a weak bounce right here, then it's going to come down even further. It's going to come down to here, the 4 cents, and then down here to 37 cents. So that's why it's at a very critical moment right now, because look, the golden pocket's literally right here. It's trading within this range. Let me zoom in a little more. But see how the price, this is the 4-hour chart. The price has just been bouncing off here, trying to stay above the golden pocket, right? This was support. It also made this M pattern here too. And it did hit that price target as well. You can just eyeball it from here to here. Hit that price target, and now it's starting again. It's starting to move on up again. So we have to look at that. Thank you. I appreciate it, Brandon. Appreciate it. Do you still know how many the tokens the India Relief Fund still have to cash out? They usually do this when Shiba Inu gets to that 0.008 level. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's see. So India, COVID. Okay. Let's look at ERC20 tokens. Yeah, okay, so I can see here they did 10 trillion in Shiba 19 days ago. So they sold 10 trillion. And then what's it called? Thank you. And then from there 12 days ago they sold another 10 trillion. So they have 10, 20, oops. Oh man, sorry about it. All right, so they got 10 trillion here, they got another 10 trillion here. It's always for the same exact amount too. Look, 10 trillion, 139 million, 4 or billion. This exact same amount is here and here, so they're selling in those exact same ones. So 20 trillion so far. Let's see. View all. Okay, so 12 days ago, 19 days ago. It looks like they're doing it every week. So then there should be one around here. They didn't get anything yet. They did 6. Oh, that was in 10 trillion out again. So there's 30 trillion. They sold 5 trillion here 40 days ago. So we're at what, like 35 trillion? I think that's 35 trillion. $40 trillion. And I think that's as much as they had. I think they might have sold everything now. But see that initial investment, the initial one that they got in right here. So, okay, so they had 50 trillion, 56 trillion, 50.6 trillion. Yeah, 50.6 trillion. And so far they sold 40. Oh, and they got another 10 trillion. Oh no, this is just 10 million. Never mind. Wow, they got 200,000, 1 million. No, 200 million, 1 billion. Just so many so I'm guessing maybe they have 52 trillion, right? 52 trillion. But isn't the cap for Shiba 100 trillion? I think there's only 100 trillion tokens. Somewhere in the 30s. Oh, okay. No, they have. Yeah, they have 1 trillion. So then it would be billion. So they'd have. Okay. Circulating would be 394 billion. Yeah, I think they do post. They post on Twitter. They post on Twitter their updates. Let's see. Yeah, this one. They haven't posted an update in a while though. They do sell, but they just haven't posted like a transparency thing. I think they only did it like once or twice. Somewhere over here. Let me see if they post anything. Yeah, no, I don't think they posted anything. Yeah, so I'm trying to look for that post that they put where they said that they were doing a transparency thing, but damn, they post so much. I'm seeing it. Yeah, no. If you guys are just joining, I would appreciate if you hit the like button. It really helps me out a lot. Right now we're just looking at, just some crypto COVID relief stuff for Shiba. I think this is where it's coming up. It's coming up right here. Okay, so this was May 28th. So 10% of SHIB was converted to USDC. So far, 30% of the donation. You can look at this actually if we click on this. Do I own any SHIB? No, not at the moment. I do trade SHIB, but I don't own it. I will own some SHIB once Shiba Swap does come out, though. Because that's an important rule for me when I'm investing is I want to see utility come out of a coin or a token, and once it shows me that has utility, then I'm going to be investing long term. But as of right now, I don't hold any SHIB. I just trade it. I trade the volatility. I trade the blue boxes, which has been my it's been my strategy, and it's been working out good so far. So just trading the blue boxes, trading areas of supply and demand, support and resistance. Let's take a look at SHIB right now, actually. So, but if you are accumulating SHIB, those blue boxes are good areas to buy and hold, right? But if we look here, right, this area has been a great time to buy, move up, sell up here, because I know that this was very strong resistance. So this is very good areas to sell. I wasn't hoping, that it was going to break this all of a sudden and just come up here like all of a sudden, that usually takes a lot more fundamental news. And also it has to clear as support, it has to break through here. And then if it started trading within this blue box, then I would be like, all right, it's going to be moving up more, maybe double down on my position. But at the same time, all these areas right here where we found resistance, it's going to stay true. It's going to stay strong, Now, the more times it tests that area, then it's going to break out. I do believe that if we do move out here, then we are going to see it actually finally start to move up, because we already touched it so many times. But like I said before, if we start trading within that blue box, then it's going to be like, all right, then I think it's actually going to, break through. But what do we actually start seeing? We start seeing it traded below right here in this blue box, the support blue box. And that's why I said, okay, now it's starting to look a little bit more sketchy, right? So we're starting to trade, but now we're starting to trade above it again. We caught ourselves, right? But if we did start trading a little bit below it again, then I'd say this area, this other blue box is another area where we can find good support. you know. So it's all about just either, if you're a day trader like me, I do both, you know. I don't stick to just either day trading or swing trading. I do have my long-term investments, which I'm holding on to, my portfolio, but at the same time, this has worked for me so far. You know, the blue boxes, trading the blue boxes, trading those quick moves to the upside and downside, right? But yeah, right now, right now SHIB is starting to trade above that blue box again, which is pretty good. It's really good. You know, we are still kind of trading in this ascending, this bit of ascending wedge, this rising wedge. So we have to also be on the lookout for that. But we do have 2 moving averages below the price, so that's pretty good. We're just getting rejection right here at this red 200-day moving average. So once we start closing candles above it, I do see it hitting at 0.8, which is very close, which I do think we might see some selling again, you know. Why not buy now and hold long term before the swap comes out? Yeah, I mean, that could also be a good strategy. It's just that I've been seeing these markets for a while now, and I know that the price is always going to go back to where it broke out. You know, if we do have a massive breakout, and we start going back up to these levels, like that 0.00010 area, then for sure we're going to come back down here and retest that level, and that can just be my new entry point. You know, this blue box can just be this, like this area of support was here before. This can be this new area of support now, you know, once that happens. So once the Shiba swap does come out, I do expect it to go up past this area and come back down and retest this area of support and then move on. That's when I'm going to be entering, you know. So if you're holding long term, then of course, yes, you know, buy the dips here, 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 and here. Those are great areas to buy, and then just hold on. But I'm going to be trading it more long term, and then once that Shiba does come out, then I'm going to be holding it, you know. But definitely always, yeah, that's always a good plan, is to always go before. It's just that with my level of risk management, that's just how I trade. You know, everybody's trading strategy is very different, but that's just how I play it. Yeah, and I did see that the India, I don't know if what the Indian government said, but I do know that the crypto cover release said that they were going to be selling it in parts. You know, they're not going to be selling everything at once. All right, let's look back at BTC. Let's see what BTC is doing. Okay, it's starting to make a good move. All right. All right, so Bitcoin right now still needs that little push. It's touching it. It's been touching it multiple times. This is kind of a scary candle here, though. On the 1 hourly, it has a really big wick to the upside, so the price did get pushed down quite a bit. But yet again, it's still staying above here. You know, once it starts going past this 50 and starts breaking this moving average, then I'll start getting a little bit more iffy on Bitcoin for the short term. Just for the slight short term, you know, it's probably just gonna come back down here and retest this area of support. But other than that, it might just trade within these two gray lines right here, between 34,700 and 33,200 till market open next week, right? Tomorrow, Monday. Then we're gonna start seeing it move to the upside. Do I teach any courses for day trading? No, not at the moment. I don't. I'm just focusing on just making videos and doing live streams, but I do try to post as much information on my live streams as possible. So if you have like literally any question you want to throw at me on trading, you know, like if I can definitely answer it, I'll definitely try to. You know, I'll help you out as best as I can. But as of right now, no, I haven't. I actually just started doing YouTube, I think like 2 months ago. So my channel's been growing quite a bit, so I'm very, you know, thankful for that. But I haven't made any courses or any direct videos on trading or my trading strategy just yet. But in the near future, once I have more time, definitely, yeah, that's something that I'm looking into. You know, maybe starting like a Patreon or something, and just sharing my thoughts, ideas with, you know, a group of people that are interested in learning my day trading techniques. But I usually trade options, or I do some slight leverage trading with either Bybit or any kind of like altcoin trading with leverage. But I try not to use too much leverage when it comes to altcoins, just because of the volatility of them. How long I've been trading? I've been trading for a little bit, almost like 2 years now. So it's just one of those things where you just have to be committed. You know, it's not generally like the amount of time you've been trading. Obviously, you have to see how the market reacts, and that just comes with just time in, you know, time in. I originally started by just investing and holding. That was my main approach to creating wealth, you know. But after I invested in a Bitcoin mining stock, Marathon Digital, which is also what I do to just day trade as well, you know. Once I invested in that, I saw like the huge potential for crypto, you know, for cryptocurrencies and altcoins and Bitcoin and everything. And so I gained, I think, like a 5,000 to 6,000% profit on just that one investment, you know. And from there, that really kind of opened my eyes to crypto, and that's when I started really investing in day trading and, you know, my trading strategy, looking at everything, reading books, watching just countless videos, trying to practice my technique on trading, and it's really helped out so much, you know. So it's of course it's time in the market, but it's also just how much effort you really want to put into learning trading, you know. And that's what's really helped me out. That's like one of the biggest things that's helped me out in trading. And also just the mindset. The mindset is something that people kind of overlook, you know. It's really easy to get emotional when you're trading, but that's just like something you have to take out. And you might even notice a lot of other people saying the same thing. It's just because it's that important. You know, trading is, it has to be as logical as you can. You can't keep looking at the chart and seeing something that you want to see, you know. You have to be ready for all scenarios. And that's something that also was something that I had to change in my mind as well, was when I was investing something, of course you want something to go up because you're investing. You're long-term holders, so you want things to go up. You know, it doesn't have to be dramatic in a straight, you know, exponential curve, but you want to see steady growth. And I think that also is what hinders people that are investing and they see steady growth and they want to now start day trading or swing trading, whichever. And they see the price go down and they get very negative. They start to get more emotional. And that's what something I always question too. I was like, you know, why are there bears? You know, doesn't everybody want the price to go up to make money? And then I realized, you know, sometimes bears can be very, there also can be emotional bears as well, just how they're emotional bulls. But the very experienced trader will play both sides, you know, they'll play the ups and the downs. I am currently not playing the downs as much because it is a bull market. I don't want to get wrecked. And I feel like people that do short Bitcoin, of course you can make just massive amounts of money, but at the same time it's very dangerous. It's faster, you know. The downside moves are faster, so if you are shorting, you have to be kind of glued to your desk, you know, glued to your monitor, you know. To catch these moves, you want to sell as quickly as you can, because the bounce up can also not liquidate you, but, you know, take away a quick amount of your percentage. So it's always good to have stop losses and take profits areas, you know. Is the software you use something you pay for? Yes, I pay for this, but it is free. So it's tradingview.com. Anybody can sign up. It's free. They do offer three indicators. And how many indicators am I using right now? 1, 2, 3. I'm literally using just 3 indicators. So if you were to set up this account free, you can use these indicators and you can be set up, you know. All I have right now is just the moving averages, right? The 21, the 50, the 200, these red and orange and yellow lines. And I have my volume indicator showing how much buying volume and selling volume there is. This one right here. Like if I just take it off, right, it just disappears. You can add it, take it off. And then I have my RSI, which I use. Relative strength index, so it shows the momentum and the amount of money flowing in. For the RSI, right, it shows either overbought, oversold territory. So those are just 3 indicators. I mainly use them. I do obviously have more indicators like the EMA ribbon, you know. I have more like the MACD, all that stuff. But as long as you have one oscillator, which is like the RSI, showing like the momentum of either overbought, oversold, you have your moving averages, and you have your volume. I think those 3 are just enough, you know, to go where the price is going, you know, to monitor where the price could go. Because mainly what I do use is support, resistance, and candlestick patterns too. You know, looking at each candle and kind of realizing what it is. I think that's something that's kind of overlooked for a lot of traders. You know, they focus a lot on the indicators like the MACD, the RSI, and all that stuff, but that's just one part of it. You know, you can't just be focusing on one part. You want multiple things coming together. And I think the best way to do that is first start off with just drawing your lines, you know, your support, resistance. And then once you start turning on your oscillators and your moving averages, all that stuff, they start lining up. And then you start thinking, all right, you know, like this shows confluence. You know, this shows importance. So I have to pay more attention to that. And also just patterns too. Overall just patterns that the candles go into, right? Like this is a ascending triangle right here. Sorry, it's kind of busy right now, but there you go. So we have the ascending triangle. We have clear area of support or resistance, ascending support. Boom, this ascending triangle happens. Breakout, you know, come back down here. This creates an M, but the M got rejected. Movement up here. So it's all about just looking at that like that. So always start off with support and resistance, and then the oscillators and all the momentum and the moving averages, they all come in after. One like do not cost nothing. Come on, guys. Let's see how long you've been day trading software. But yeah, like I said, Tradingview, sign up, it's free, you know. That's what I kind of tell everybody if they want to start trading and looking into. Of course, if you have an exchange that has different, what's it called? You know, it has a exchange that has a built-in, you know, chart reader and all that stuff. You can definitely use it. I just think this one's a little bit easier, and a lot of other people use it as well. So you will find a lot of tutorials to use on Tradingview. I feel like that's probably like the more well-known one, you know, Tradingview. So that's why I use it, you know, and I found a lot of YouTube videos on it. It took me a couple days just to get used to it, but now it's just like, you know, it's super simple to navigate. And I think, what other one did I use? I started using I think the Thinkorswim one's just a little bit more complicated, but this one you can add as much stuff as you want to as well. I just don't use that many indicators, but if you look here, click on indicators, you can literally find anything. These are the ones that I mostly use too. Like you can use Bollinger Bands. I just added that. Where is it? Right here. So do you see this? Let me just take away all the drawings. All right, so this is the price, right? I'm adding my BB bands. Well, I think BB bands are really good, that especially if you're starting a day trade. So do you see how they added this? Like, it looks kind of like a river. That's how I kind of picture it. I picture it as the price is floating down this river, just kind of hitting each bank, right? And what usually happens is the price always fluctuates within this red line. This red line is the mean average. And the Bollinger Bands are pretty much just summed up all these prices. All these prices are just summed up averages of this. So it just shows you this is the top where it can go. This is the bottom where the price can go. And then you see how the price, see how the price always goes through the red line and it hits the outsides of the bands. So the bands are good areas where you can take profit. You know, if you're shorting, or if you're, you know, if you're longing right here, let's say right here, you post a long position, you can either take profits here at the red line, right, where the mean average is going to always go. The price is always going to be going through the red line. See how it goes through the red line, comes up the red line, goes back through the red line, comes back, touches the red line, gets rejected, and it just starts going up and below the red line. So you know it's always going to go there. So if you place your long either right here lower on the outside of the Bollinger Band, and it's more of a safe bet to place it when it's the price is outside the Bollinger Band, right here, like right here, and then you can take your long all the way up here, right, to 32,000. So from here to here, you can make a nice 20-30% move if you're using leverage. So very quick move, you know, and that was what, 2-3 hours, you know, like that's one way of doing it. Or you can even wait if you see it actually go up and take your profit here on the other side of the Bollinger Band and even make more profit here. So that's why I use this for day trading. You know, it's a very nice indicator for day trading because the price is always gonna be fluctuating within the lower part of the band or the upper part of the band. So that's just one indicator you can use. you know, or the EMA ribbon, right? Same kind of concepts going to be flowing either above or down below or through, finding rejection points, you know. Yeah, you can add so many different kind of indicators here. You can even look up whatever you want to. The VWAP too. I don't know why it's telling me that, but I have it somewhere around here. But yeah, that's how I use indicators. I use it more of an accessory. You know, I don't just put all my reliance on it when I'm trying to make a decision to get in or get out. How can I DM you? I'll pay you for a one-on-one. You know what? My schedule is kind of booked up at the moment for something like that, but possibly by the end of probably by the end of July, I'll be opening up to do more one-on-one private stuff. So be looking out for that. All right, John. But as of right now, I'm still very busy, you know, with like the trading setup, the YouTube, trying to figure out, you know, my day streams, all the scheduling that goes into that. But once I get that set up, I definitely will be telling everybody that I'm going to be starting, you know, either one-on-ones or just opening up a Discord or something where everybody can just either ask me what's going on, you know, what the move is for the day, stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be making that. So either one-on-ones or more of a little bit broader, you know, teaching Discord, but it's going to happen very soon. So within the next three weeks, something like that, but just be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right. How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for an hour. So I'm going to be logging off in a bit, guys. So remember to place in the comments down below if you want me to look at any more altcoins, but right now BTC is still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. It's just getting that slight rejection here, which I knew was going to happen because like we saw here, boom, support, like kind of rejection, support here, resistance, and now again, resistance, you know, and this is the final move to make this huge W pattern. And the price target for that is right here at $39,000. So pretty crazy price target here. That's another 5,000 move. $5,000 move. So we're just waiting on that right now. We're honestly waiting on that. But do not be surprised. You see how this is also a very critical area. Support here, resistance all throughout here. Also slight resistance, support, resistance. So I'm thinking we are going to come back down here. That's what my guess is. You know, we're very oversold here on the 1 hourly. We're going to have to come back down to test these areas of support. Boom, support, moving up. And that's what I expect to happen. When do we see that actually happening? Yeah, look, right around 3 a.m. We always kind of see that, like early in the morning the next day on Monday, before markets open, we always see this huge move to the downside. So the market gets the people that are already in long positions before the weekend, you know, on Friday, if they're, you know, doing options or just they're starting to open up the positions right now. They bring the price down here, liquidate some people before buying in again, and then just riding the wave all the way back up here. So that's what usually happens, or at least that's what I've been noticing the last couple of weeks. I've been watching the market here for Bitcoin for a long time. So every weekend, the price always fluctuates very heavily, like we saw right now. This is no surprise whatsoever. And then it goes down right before. If it's already going up during the weekend, expect a huge drop to the downside early in the morning. And that's when you can place, you know. But then again, it never always happens exactly the same way, you know. But if it does, you know that's a good area to buy in. But yeah, like I said, like, you see how these two areas right here, green right here, we've been moving within this range. So I expect it to come back down here. I don't expect it to go all the way up here. And if it does, probably come back down here and then maybe trade a little bit here and come back up. But yeah, like I said, the volume is still pretty low. Like we had this initial volume right here. This volume candle was pretty big, but after that, it just kind of tapered off. And I just think it's going to keep getting lower and lower till the price starts going down. People start selling their positions or taking some profit. Because I know for a fact, people, at least this is how I would have done it. I would have placed my buy-in order within this area right here. Right? Actually, I was talking about placing my order right here yesterday in yesterday's live stream. Would have been right here at the bottom of this area. This would have been my area of entering in. And the reason why is because I saw, let's go on a lower time frame, you can see even better. You see how the price is fluctuating, boom, hit, rejection, boom. Just perfect textbook oscillation between this shape. And once I saw it come back down here and start making this one, as soon as I saw this candle right here, if we zoom in on this candle, this is a very telling candle. Because it's a huge bullish candle, even though it's red. Even though it's a red candle, the price went all the way down here. You saw the wick was a very big wick, came back up here, and then the next candle, this was a retest. This is a retest on the resistance right here. This is a retest, a small retest. This next candle, it went up. It was a green candle, and it was a little bit bigger than this candle, and it went up higher. This is where my entry candle would be. I'd be writing it here, and let's see. And the price target from this breakout was, I drew it from like right here to right here. Right, this was my my price target. Put it right here on this top, and it hit that price target. Oh yeah, exactly. Look at that. Exactly hit it right here. Right, so, and people, look, do you see how it barely almost got there, and then we just saw a huge drop? So people always put their price targets. They don't put it exactly right here, like at 33,600. They put it a little bit earlier. And that's why we saw it almost inch up there, and then boom, rejection, but then it still went up there again, you know? So this trade would have been good. So let's see. So this is how I would have set it up. I would have either entered in right here, right? This area would have been a good entry point, just because it's more confirmed. The higher it is, or the more oscillation you see, the more you can place on this pattern being a solid pattern to trade. Right? I mean, you could enter in right here, but they only have 2 oscillations. You know, I want another one. Boom. Now that really clearly signifies that this is resistance, this is support. Just the riskier it is. Of course, like, I would want to buy right here and then hold it all up here. That's be like the most gains, right? But, you know, what you want is risk management, and that's how you get risk management. Even if you're down here, you're suffering a little bit more of a percentage loss, but at the same time, you're still making pretty good gains right here. Right? What was that move? From down here to this move, that's 8%, you know, and I usually trade on 7x leverage, 7 to 8x leverage. If I'm pretty confident on something, maybe 10x, but that's as high as it go. So let's say 7x, right? 7x, 7 times 8, that's a 56% gain on just this one move. And how long did this move last? 10 hours, you know, not bad. Not bad. 56% gain, 10 hours. I think it's pretty good. But that's how much I usually try to do for my trading, around 40 to 50%. Sometimes you get lucky, you know, and you let it run a little bit more, and you get 100, 200 to 300% gains. But yeah, I try to mitigate the risk as much as I can. So, you know, 50 is good enough for me. You know, it's not about making as much money in one trade as possible. It's the little trades that add up, you know? It's all about the little trades. And then once your account gets big enough within those like 5-figure range, you know, then you can start placing a little bit higher bets. But what's it called? Yeah, that's how I would set it up. And then I'll probably put my stop loss here. I always put a stop loss, you know, especially with crypto. It's very volatile. I don't want to be risking any sort of capital, you know, and just letting it ride. Because you will get wrecked. You definitely will get wrecked. The market makers know exactly where the buying and the selling is, so they're going to be pushing you pretty much to your stop loss. So in this particular shape, this pattern right here, right, this is a textbook ascending wedge. Once it starts breaking out here and then confirming and breaking down, what I want to place my stop loss would be right around here, this area. This would be my area of stop loss. So either at the previous low, this was a previous low, and it made a higher low. Sorry, it's very messy, but so this is the low. This is a slightly higher low. I would place my stop loss right below this second low, or probably right down here, this area. So that would be from here, if it were to break down, a 1% loss, and then times 7. So like 7% loss, and then you would trade up for a 56% gain. So I think that's well worth it, you know? That's like a what? 7% loss to 56% gain. That's an 8-to-1 ratio, right? So anything above 3-to-1, where you're winning 3 times more than what you would be losing is a solid trade for me. All right, thank you all for joining me today. I'm going to be logging off for right now. But I will be on tomorrow. I'll be doing another live stream around the same time, maybe around actually earlier. I'll probably do an afternoon one. Just because I want to be checking the markets. Actually, I'll probably do one early in the morning if you guys are down for that. Before markets open, because that's when I know there's gonna be a huge volatility, like huge amount of volatility. CRO, yeah, I'll do CRO real quick. I like CRO. That one's a long-term trade for me because it's been pretty weak lately, but it did go up 10% today. I think I saw that. But yeah, CRO is one of my exchange plays, you know, like KuCoin. CRO USD. Okay, you know what? It's looking not that bad, actually. It's actually looking really good. Wow. No way. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. Yeah. Yep, looking good, looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a blue box because I just know right here, I can see that the price, boom, fluctuating within this range. Wow, it's looking good. Okay. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, so we had some sort of a descending triangle. Let's see if we hit that price target already. Yeah, so we pretty much hit that price target and went pretty down low. We did have a retest, and I would have said that this would have been pretty bearish if we came up here and just fell down here. But the fact that we're retesting this blue box area again is giving me pretty bullish vibes right now. It's yeah, like let's look at that, because this is a W pattern right here. Maybe we can extend this a little bit further down to right here. Move this down here. Yeah, so this is pretty nice. So we're trading in the blue box. If we do find this as support right here at 10 cents, if we keep 10 cents as support, meaning we come up here, come down here, and then bounce off of here, then it's looking like this W pattern. This is a really nice W pattern here. It's probably nicer than all the other altcoins I've been looking at today. So yeah, no, it's looking pretty good. Let's see where the price target would be from here to the top, down here. We're looking at it going back up here to these levels at around 11 cents, 11, 12 cents. And that's probably another move of, yeah, it's like another 13% move. So CRO is looking pretty good. But if we do get rejected from this blue box, we come back down here, then we're going to start probably going down here to this level at around 8 cents. But as of right now, it held it pretty well. It held it pretty well. I was thinking we're going to get rejected from this point right here. Like once it came back up to retest, because you always see that happen with patterns. You always see like this descending triangle, right? So this is what descending triangles look like. They have a resistance that's downward sloping, and then they have a support that is just straight horizontal, and it oscillates, right? It's moving within this price. Boom, 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 bam. And then it comes back down here because it's another continuation pattern, meaning that it's going to be a bear pattern. And then from there, when it breaks out, it'll probably make another bear pattern, maybe like a symmetrical triangle right here. And then boom, another leg down. But the fact that it did break out, came back up to retest, I was expecting to go down here, but it came back up. And now it's retesting this blue box again. So if it can stay above the blue box, then it's looking pretty bullish. It can come back up and retest this higher area, because I see that this is also resistance and support right here, right? We see that it's been trading above here and then come back down here, trading area support, resistance. So it can definitely come back up here. Let me move it a little bit more. Move here, and that's also where my target is too. It's like right here at this area. So it just has to hold within here, but CRO is looking pretty good. It did make a nice move today. What is it? Yeah, starting back from right here at 8 cents, 9 cents, went up 10%. Just be careful though on the 4 hourly. So in the short term, we are going to have a bit of a slight retracement. But let's look on the daily too. Yeah, on the daily too. We also, if we do get a slight rejection, this still can actually make out to be ascending triangle. So it can look like this and then come down, make a higher low. That's important. And then we have this as support, right? And then this can make us come back up here and then retest this upper area. So it all just depends if we get rejected right now from the blue box or if we find it as support. But the daily, let's look at the moving averages too. Yep, so we're actually running into right here as resistance, this moving average. Yep, we're starting to find this resistance. And then the 4 hour, let's see. Oh, 4 hour looking good. You know, we're above all these moving averages. So it just depends if we move up here to this 10-cent area and we hold 10 cents for another 3 to 4 4-hourly candles. So another 12 hours next day. But I know this is going to change a lot if Bitcoin does make that volatile move to the downside tomorrow. So be on the lookout for my next live stream. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. And I'll try to do it early in the morning. Just so I can monitor this price action. You know, so be on the lookout for that. But thank you everybody for tuning in. You know, I'm going to be logging off now. So don't forget to like and subscribe and be on the lookout for my live stream tomorrow.